Hello my bookish friends out there in booktube land, and welcome to this exciting video. I want you to join me in a reading event that is taking place during November that I'm partly hosting. And that reading event is called World War November. It's a bit like a reading challenge, but I like to call it a reading event because what it is, we're going to have a theme that we can structure our reading around for just 1 month. Now, of course, November was the month that the Great War, 105 years ago, ended in. The 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And if you're interested in novels and story and the experience of human life, there's hardly a moment in time as significant as World War I. Some historians actually said the 20th century started in 1914. They don't measure it necessarily by a particular year, 1900, but by a complete overhaul of society. Everything, the status quo was shook to the ground by World War I. Now, this is what's going to happen in World War November, the reading event. It's not just an historical discussion or reading historical books about which battle happened when and who was who. It's not about that. If you love reading, if you love novels and tales and, of course, classic literature on this channel, then you love story. You love experiencing life through the eyes of another person. You love to be able to hold up for yourself or be challenged with new viewpoints, different angles on the values that we hold, what it's like to experience such a traumatic occasion and what it draws out of a character. That's what this reading event is designed for. Now, the way it's going to be structured is really interesting and we want you to be immersed in it. So this is what's going to happen. First of all, there will be a central book which we can all get together and read. Everyone can read along at their own leisure through the month, which will be discussed at the end of the month. That book will be a memoir, a well-written memoir, so you can get a first-person view of what it was like to exist during World War I. But I can't tell you what memoir it is. There's a bit of a twist here, and I'll explain why in a few minutes. On top of the central book, there will also be some other reading prompts, which, if you decide to follow them, will give you the more rounded, immersive sort of dipping into that time zone, helping you take on a viewpoint to really come to look at the world slightly differently or challenge yourself. Of course, if you can't read all the prompts, that's fine. But those prompts won't be just about World War I. They will be from categories under the sphere of World War I. For instance, a category could be animals during World War I. What you might be interested in animals, for instance, or you might be interested in some other aspect of life. Now, we're going to give you a whole group of books to give you ideas for whatever appeals to you. You're going to love this. Now, how are you going to find out? On the 22nd of this month, so that's this Sunday, 7 p.m. British Standard Time, that's 11 a.m. at Pacific Time, what would that be? Is that like 1 o'clock Midwest Time? We're going to have a live show here on YouTube, or well, we're going to have a live show anyway, and I'll post the details soon. Now, in that show, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be presented with a handful of memoirs from people who were there and which are renowned for being excellent memoirs and enjoyable. And there's going to be a poll on which you can vote for which one you like. And the winner of the poll, that will be the one for all of us to read. After that, each of us, Christy, Peggy, Bill and myself, will bring to the table a handful of books based around a particular category, which if it grabs your attention, you might think, oh, I like the sound of a couple of those, I'll read them, and really get a 360 view of World War I as an individual, as a person, not just learning the political landscape, learning the massive socio-geographic events that took place, but actually down there with individuals. And this is going to be so exciting because if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that the point of the classics is to hold up yourself to yourself, to dig into you and find what it is that makes us human. And when you look at a time period like World War One, that pressure cooker, well, that's a time that you are really going to get people who suddenly realise what's important in life, what matters, what is right, what is wrong. And also, it will also give you the idea beyond just what history academically tells us to think, to actually what people were individually thinking at that time. This is going to be great. If you want to have a structured month next month, really read with purpose, then bookmark the 22nd of this month coming up so that you can watch along with us as we discuss a few books, make your vote, and get some ideas for next month's reading. This is going to be an experience you probably have never had before. So until the 22nd, I wish you joy in your reading.